I have this sort of crazy idea. Yes, Tom, it is crazy. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk you through an idea that Tom Werner has pitched. Now, just when I thought FSG's greed and understanding of what will annoy the fan base has dissipated, now, Tom Werner has said, hold my beer, I have something to say. So basically, this is what Tom Werner has had to say. I'm determined one day to have a Premier League game be played in New York City. So at the moment, you're thinking, it gets worse. Promise you, it gets worse. I even have a sort of crazy idea that there would be a day where we play one game in Tokyo, one game a few hours later in LA, one game in Rio, one game a few hours later in Riyadh, and somewhere else, so that the Premier League can be fully celebrated. He didn't stop there though, because the madness continued. He said, let's figure out a way to offer them very cheap travel and accommodation, so that if Liverpool is playing Forest, Liverpool fans coming to New York will be able to make it an attractive thing for them for sure. Now, look, I got to tie this in to a comment about the NFL. The difference between the Premier League doing this and the NFL doing this, to me, is fairly simple. The Premier League doesn't need to sell itself around the world. It is already a huge product, a global success, the most profitable and the most watched league in the world. So they don't need to do what the NFL is doing. Yes, the NFL have gone to Mexico, to London, to Germany, to Brazil, and I think to a few other places. And yes, it is growing the league. It is doing what it is meant to do. And I'm a new convert to NFL myself over the past 3 or 4 years. But it doesn't work. The culture just doesn't work for the Premier League. So somebody pointed out to me in the Discord group, FSG have just spent a load of money building 2 new stands or extending 2 stands to what? Try to take the game away? It is just self-serving greed. And just when I thought that FSG maybe had finally gotten to a place where we would see the stupidity stop, off again they go. Now look, there are people who are going to be for this idea, but I can say one thing to you. You will absolutely be in the minority, because I've spent the day reading social media posts, fan forums, journalist takes on it, and everybody thinks it's a ridiculous idea. In fact, I was watching Back Pages and Sky Sports News a couple of weeks ago, and the idea of a game or two from the Premier League being taken abroad each year was basically laughed at by the journalists, because it is again an example of corporate greed and not understanding the fans, the model of football in Europe, and how powerful fans are around these subjects. So I understand it might work for the NFL, and I understand it might work for other leagues, but it absolutely will not work for the Premier League, because it doesn't need to be done. And here's another thing. You all go to Premier League games or your supermarkets or wherever else, and we're all being taught about the green power, green energy, save the planet. How is this saving the planet? Having fans traipsing from England over to America, because that's what he wants to do here, make it cheap and affordable for Liverpool fans to travel over to America or to Saudi Arabia or to anywhere else to watch these games. How is that going to help the old global warming situation? And on top of that, there's the fact that nothing's wrong with the Premier League, and people already pay a fortune for their season tickets. It's already difficult enough for us as somewhat locals, whether you're in Liverpool, Ireland, or somewhere around Europe, to get to a game. This is just absolute stupidity of the highest order, and it's very much a case of you don't understand your own fan base yet again. Take the temperature of the Liverpool fan base on this, or other clubs' fans, and see what way it works out. Because I can tell you, it's a stupid idea and nobody's for it. And that's before we get into probably the biggest problem with all of this, which is player welfare. How are you going to tell me if Liverpool are playing, as an example, in the Champions League game away in Turkey on a Wednesday night, that they're then going to jet over to Tokyo, LA, Riyadh, or anywhere else to play a Premier League game on a Saturday, and that isn't going to impact those players and their well-being? We're already in a time where the PFA and football unions are stepping in because players are being absolutely run into the ground. You've got the new Club World Cup coming on that nobody really seems to want other than FIFA and the greedy men. And once again, this is just a TV executive, which is the world that Tom Werner comes from, trying to look at it from a corporate standpoint, trying to look at it from a money standpoint. It isn't about money, Tom. Liverpool generate more than enough money. Liverpool are absolutely loved. I think the most Googled team in America from English football is Liverpool FC. So yes, you can tap into that market. That's what pre-season's for. That's why we're going over to play Arsenal. That's why they're playing Betis. That's why they're playing Manchester United. And it's absolutely wonderful that all of the local fans get to come, and I love what the club do around making sure that local fans are able to come and access teams. They do events, supporters clubs come out. It's brilliant, but that's what needs to stop. This idea of the game getting moved over there is madness. If you wanted to move one crazy game, do the Champions League final or something stupid, but leave the domestic leagues alone, because it's the lifeblood of England, the amount of money that it brings into the UK economy. Why would anybody want to take that away? Why would the UK government or Liverpool look at this and go, we can make more money here without having to travel? Why would we go off to the other side of the world? What about our fans? What about the increased cost for them? It's just greed. It's just greed. And at a time where I thought finally FSG were starting to get it, we wouldn't have any more of that Super League nonsense where they don't listen to fans. Tom Werner again speaking out of his backside. It's absolute madness. Tom, listen to me. Nobody wants it. Stop being greedy. You already make more than enough money from the way the football club is headed. Nobody wants this to happen. Even on The Athletic, in the comment section, which is usually a good mix of American fans, European fans, and fans from all over the world. Even the American Liverpool fans don't want this, because they believe that the magic of wanting to someday be able to come and watch Liverpool is to have that Anfield experience. Now, you might make an argument to say that it might grow a footballing culture over in America, or we might see a different way for how Liverpool will be supported over there. Don't care. Liverpool are based in Liverpool. Arsenal are based in London. Manchester United are based in Manchester. It's that simple. Don't break what isn't broken, and stop trying to always rinse an extra few quid. There's no way I could see Jurgen Klopp sticking for this if he was still around. So I hope, if the idea is muted to Arne Slot a little bit further down the line, that he calls it out for what it is, which is just another greedy cash grab. So maybe these are the type of moments that stop me from getting any access to Liverpool Football Club, because somebody has to speak out. And thankfully we have a platform that I'm going to do just that. Idiot of an idea. Stupid idea. I don't know what Tom Werner's thinking. And again, it's like they can't go a few weeks without saying something silly. They need to backtrack on this very quickly. He's even said it himself in his statement. He said, I have this sort of crazy idea. Yes, Tom, it is crazy. And for all the reasons you think it is, and more. Most importantly, it's against the fan culture. So stop trying to change everything. The Premier League is tickety-boo as it is. Leave it alone. Don't try to traipse it around the world. We've seen the success or lack of Spain moving their version of the Community Shield over to the Middle East somewhere. It just doesn't, or to the Gulf somewhere. It doesn't work. Nobody cares. Nobody attends the games. It doesn't mean anything. Leave the Premier League alone. And now I really want to know what you guys feel about it, because for me it's just the height of stupidity seeing Tom Werner coming out talking this crap yet again. It's a no from me, a massive no, but we want to know what you guys think, so let us know.